We're recording.
Are we recording?
We're recording now.
We're recording.
We're recording.
Nashville's new indoor water park may become your new favorite destination this winter. Isn't that that's gonna be the indoor water park? Is it
I have no idea.
the hotel, Opryland? Yeah, indoor water park
At Opryland.
at Opryland. 99-9.7.
9.7.
9.7. 99. 9.7. 5/21. Friday, May 31st. Fucking long day. Long week. Week went fast.
Week was fast. You know why it is?
Entertainment.
No.
Sheer, I can't believe it.
Nope.
What?
The week went fast because really in 3 business days we're going to Blade Show.
2 business days we're going to Blade Show.
Are we leaving Wednesday?
Yeah, we always leave Wednesday.
I thought we... Yeah.
We always leave
because
setup.
I was for some reason I was thinking setup was Friday, but Friday the damn show's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Saturday, Sunday, and then we fucking sleep Sunday, come home Monday.
Yep.
But I am not in any hurry.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's just the packing and unpacking. It's really the worst part of I think the worst part of Blade. The worst part of Blade is
The teardown.
the minute that van backs into the minute the van backs
Hurry
into
up!
the
You gotta
spot,
get these vans out of here. Hurry up! Hurry up! No,
always-
you can only do it with one person. No, you gotta walk on your hands.
I think that's the worst part because
It's crazy. It's like, it's not like under table fucking underground shit's happening there. Nobody's even got their shit out.
Nope.
The knives don't even walk in the show. It's a whole day of setting up booths and turning bolts and carpet and shit. Like, there's not even anything there to buy. Fucking, I don't get it. Like, we don't even really unpack our shit. We just, like, get all the tables set up, get the fucking tablecloths bolted on, hang up all our shit, but everything's still in, like, bags and boxes and shit. I don't know what the fuck they think's going, and this year, like, normally we'll go in there with, like, 10, 12 people, and it takes us about 3 hours to set up.
to get everything in there. Yeah.
But they're fucking, now they've limited it to 6 people. And they're fucking on you about, hurry up and get these trucks out of here, get these trucks on. Well, you motherfuckers just took half of our fucking, our labor. And it's not like we're not paying, fucking $2,500 for each one of these fucking little spots. Fucking crazy, man.
That's crazy.
Okay, well, you guys unload it. Sorry. There's a lot of papers here. Something has happened. Skully, I know everything you guys make have a reason. Can you give me a situation where customers like the Pals bungee slings would be preferred over a 2-point or a single point sling? Also, does the 2-to-1 function just as good as a single point and just as good as a 2-point, or is it a spork hybrid of both, able to do both but not do either as well as a spoon or fork? I got you on this. We made the Pals bungee sling because SEAL Team 7 Foxtrot platoon back then wanted those. The whole platoon came in. We built those out of Mom's garage, as a matter of fact. They attached to the Pals on the back. They came over their Eagle armor carriers back then, or they had PACA, and then we were making some covers for them and shit. And the wrap around the shoulder, they routed through there. So they just fucking... we had a 550 adapter, and they were girth hitching them. The whole reason we were making the 550 adapter is because SEAL Team 7 and 3 wanted those things so they could take them from AKs to M4s. That is where the Pals bungee. The convertible sling is a 2-point sling that we sewed a D-ring on, and by using the H-Canner mash hook, you can convert it. Is it as good of a single point? No, it's not. It's about 90%. The single point binds less, whereas this... it doesn't allow it to move exactly the same. It works fine. Like, if you're not sure whether you want one, that's a fine way to go. Or if you're more 2-point but sometimes want to convert to a single, that's fine. It is every bit as good as a 2-point, but it's about 90% as good as a single point. You are always 2-point, right?
That's 100% true. Unless it's like an MP5. No. Yeah. That's all. I mean, everything John said is.
You don't have a holster. Point. You don't have a thigh holster for your MP5.
I do not have a thigh. Well, that's for the SP89, not the actual MP5.
Well, the SP89 with a PDW stock on it.
You mean an arm brace? Because if you put a PDW
Oh,
stock on
I'm
it,
talking about the real one,
Yeah.
fucking the real one that those holsters were made for.
Yeah, no, I don't. I actually don't have any of that.
This fucking Eagle had a fucking pretty cool setup for that thing, man.
I had
The shoulder rig.
the shoulder rig that hooked on the
that was
back
cool
thing
too.
Yeah.
John, any plans to make a modular seat back panel? Yes, we will. Do you think they will have machines to deep sea crab, salmon, fish in Alaska? No, but good news. Fukushima killed all your salmon and crab.
Fuck.
I don't know about that. I'm still eating it every weekend when I go to Nashville. So I'm going to glow, I'm going to have superhero powers, or I'm going to die in about 5 years.
That's the one beautiful thing about radiation poisoning in low doses. You can eat that shit for a long time. That's kind of what's happening in Japan, is they're moving people back into those areas and just pretending that there's no radiation. So in low doses, you can go for a long time.
And get superhero powers?
I don't know if you're going to get superhero powers. You're going to get a fucking thyroid issue eventually.
Do you think that's why it's releasing more human growth hormone, and that's why I'm fucking...
Because of all the radiation?
Economic selling?
Maybe. Because of all the radiation.
Or is it just allowing me to use my life force faster?
I had a really good friend whose dad was a sergeant major in the Marine Corps, and First Marines used to get on trucks, and they would drive out to fucking Nevada test sites, and they would get in trenches, and then they would detonate these nuclear weapons, and then they would get them all in formation, march them out there, and let them look at how much damage the nuclear weapon did. And he used to say that's how come he's lived so long, because of all the radiation he got as a young man.
Would that still be part of like Area 21 out there, like Mercury City and all that shit?
Yeah, that would be all right out
Right
in
there.
that area. Yeah.
Not to be confused with 51, though still kind of attached.
Same thing, yeah.
Did you ever do Op 4 for Area 51? Did you ever
No.
do any of that shit trying to break in there?
Never Area 51. Just Los Alamitos. What is it? What's that fucking place up north?
That's it?
Is it Los Al?
You got a pretty good story about that.
Yeah, breaking into there was fun, but I mean, we just got lucky.
Did you?
Yeah, because they got lazy.
Or
It was too cold.
They got complacent.
It was too cold, so they got lazy.
You guys ever wonder how many people see historically inaccurate movies and think, no shit, I didn't know it went down like that? For example, Hitler getting shot up in the theater in Inglourious Basterds. Love the podcast, keep it up. I think that happens a lot, man. I think that it just kind of gets programmed. It's not even that. I mean, you just trust that. I think subconsciously you just kind of see that and go, oh, that's the case, unless you know otherwise. And when you see it, you go, that's not at all how it happened. I think that happens plenty. I think it's actually a lot of social programming, as a matter of fact. Vacation Club Pro. Hey guys, been watching your videos for years. I have seen all the podcast episodes up until about 2 weeks ago, since I'm in the process of moving, and I stream all your videos to my TV. Now that I have to watch on my phone, I can comment. I ordered a handful of items over the years. I am amazed at how well your belts hold up. I've only had to order one since it looks brand fucking new almost 6 years later. Keep up the videos. Congratulations on the new house, man. I hope that was on your terms. I guess that's what I said. Thanks. What do you do for work? I hope the move was by choice. He said yes. It was to a nicer, bigger place for about the same money. I'm in sales. Been doing timeshare forever. I could tell you some stories, laugh out loud. Now I'm getting into new home sales. Right on, man. That's fucking cool. I'll bet you do have some crazy stories.
Crazy stories, yeah. Fuck timeshares.
Any thoughts on investing? I just started playing with the stock market.
Then you know more about it than me. Actually, I will tell you a little secret. If you want to, if you've got the time, what you really should do is look at. You should look at any weapon system. You should look at any weapon system that we are currently using, and break it down by the parts. Don't look at like an M1 Abrams, but break it down to the parts that are in there. The big one is the new 1,000-pound bomb, the new 1,000-pound guided bombs that we have. There's a lot of individual parts in there, and what ends up happening is a small company will bid on those individual parts, and it will raise their market share, because the government will go, okay, we need 10,000 of these motherfuckers. So you can really look at any piece of military equipment and break it down to the parts. Figure out which companies are making those parts, and you're not going to go wrong with that. Especially anything that has to do with the drone systems. Any of the cameras.
Or the killer anti-drone.
Any of the anti-drone shit, any of the cameras. Those companies are going to be around for a long motherfucking time. Outside of that, I don't know shit about the stock market.
Been using my multicam black crossbody bag for a few weeks now and absolutely love it. My only complaint is this: not enough chem light loops. Have you guys ever heard of the Ninja variant of the Hellfire missile, the R9X? Instead of exploding, it is said to shred the target with a halo of 6 long blades that can cut through buildings and car roofs. Chem light loops. I don't think it has any chem light loops. Okay.
Yeah. I've never heard of the R9X. It sounds very expensive. And it sounds like a waste of time when you have all kinds of other shit that will do it even better.
You can serve on a jury if your rights have been restored.
Who wants to serve on a fucking jury? Nobody wants to be on a jury except old people. And the only reason why old people want to do it is because they're retired and they don't have anything better to do. And in that case, they should be able to sit on as many juries as they want.
Hey guys, explain it. X-Plan is employee discount. Not the same as family discount, but still a discount. I get several a year. Hit me up. I have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't either.
Pierre John Skully. If the ceramic coating is everything it's supposed to be, do you think that could be the next big gun life tactical coating? It is way cooler than rattle cans, laugh out loud, but especially long-term, safe storage for exterior and whatnot. Thanks, SOE and crew. Awesome podcast. Man, Pierre said that he saw it. They're putting it on at the dealership he was at. Like, he says it's fucking the real deal. Like, you take a car out, you can take a car out and fucking get it covered in mud on fucking Friday night, bring it in Monday and pressure wash that bitch off, and it fucking all the shit comes off. It's like a super duper wax coating, and it doesn't leave, you don't have to dry it. It doesn't leave any water spots, nothing.
Is it put on by hand?
I think it's put on like a wax, man, from the few things I've seen. I think it is applied, like sprayed on and then, buffed and shit. I don't know. It's like Rain-X for your car.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work on firearms.
Yeah, maybe temperature would be an issue.
Yeah.
What do you think about CNN layoffs? 2 entire divisions got laid off in Atlanta. The Giant and the X-Muse information team is gone belly up. Wondering if you think media will start paying attention to our bullshit meter as America. Thanks, SOE and crew, for the awesome podcast. So I don't watch any news. I'm in the gym every morning and CNN's on, and it literally looks like they just fucking like, all right, make something up. Like, that's literally what it fucking looks like. And I'll be in the gym and I will see the same fucking thing flash on the whole entire fucking hour I'm there.
The problem is they spent all this time the last 3 years talking about how Mueller was going to fucking destroy Trump, and come to find out, which everybody already knew, that there's nothing there. So it's hard to have ratings. It's hard to keep a show when you've been fucking lying your ass off for 3 years. If they would, here's the thing: CNN could come back. They could pull back through if they would just fire all their pundits. Just fire all the pundits. Every fucking lesbian, pundit, trans, whatever. Fire all those pundits and hire, I don't care if they're black, white, red, Chinese, lesbian, transgender, don't care. Hire somebody that is just going to talk the news.
Those are news readers.
Straight That's what news. They are. That's it. Just give us the fucking straight news. Not all this fake bullshit about how the world's going to end in 10 years or fucking Donald Trump is the worst president ever. Just the facts. If they were to do that, they could overtake every news agency, because that's all people want from the news. It's kind of like, if you look at ESPN Sports, it's over the last 3 years it's been tanking. And the reasons why it's been tanking is because they put all these fucking dumbass pundits on there who want to try and put all these social bullshit things in there instead of reporting about baseball, football, soccer, hockey, whatever, reporting about games. If they were to go back to that, their bottom line would increase. These people have all fucked up because they're trying to follow They're trying to follow Facebook's model. Whereas, as long as you are saying hateful shit and reporting hateful shit that people will keep in the argument, it works on Facebook. It doesn't work for the news because I can switch the channel. Yeah, I can switch the channel. So
they can't control what you're watching.
They need to hire a Walter Cronkite. They hire Walter Cronkite, get the news back on, start fucking really reporting the news, and stop talking about all this fucking stupid bullshit. Then their bottom line would go up. But they're gonna tank. CNN is going to fucking. It's just gonna tank because they cannot help themselves.
And how many times have those guys been caught? There's YouTube videos that are hours long. Not just CNN. Lots of newscasters. Literally, you'll see them and they're reading the same script. You'll see fucking 100 different people reporting the exact same thing. Literally word for word. And then there's a ton of it, like in Iraq when the fucking missiles were, here come the missiles, we're putting our gas masks on. They edited that shit. It was a fucking stage. And then that video finally slipped out. Somebody had a copy of it. And you see them fucking laughing and making fun. And like what was supposed to be urgent. And the missiles were coming in and we're scared for our life. They're fucking around. Like as soon as they thought the camera was off, somebody brought them motherfuckers drinks. And they were just standing there fucking like.
It's like Anderson Cooper standing in a hole talking about how flooded the area is and his cameraman's 2 feet away from him dry.
And then you see somebody else's camera showing that it's fucking bullshit. Then I saw like Nashville news. What happened? Remember when you were a kid? You'd see the news, right? Mom, Dad would watch the news, Grandma, whatever. Those chicks were hot, right? The news readers, the news casters. They look like fucking porn stars, big fake tits and shit, right? We used to see them because they'd come to the mobile station Eddie and Mike worked at from Bacchanal, and those bitches did. They were like fucking porn stars. They were whores on the time off, fucking meeting dudes over at Bacchanal. Not now. Nashville. It looks like you'll see a bitch on Nashville fucking television. It looks like she fucking, oh shit, I didn't get my alarm. Fucking flew down to the station and got on in some fucking sweatpants. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're in front of fucking people. You were there as entertainment. Who the fuck, like, I don't even get it, man.
It's because they're woke, John. They're woke. And when you're woke, you don't have to present yourself. If you want to see that, you have to watch any Latin weather girl. Go ahead and look at some Latin weather girls.
I haven't had time to listen to the podcast in the past week or so I made it my priority to catch up today. First, we want a car podcast. Unrelated, my parents have 4 acres of lawn that needs cut. When I was with them, I hated doing it. Now, my mom has a basic Lowe's Husqvarna zero-turn lawnmower, and I've been to her house every weekend for a month to use it. So much so, as she herself has yet to drive it. I never thought I would enjoy cutting grass so much, John. Now I understand why men love cutting grass. Get a zero-turn. As much fun as you think that thing is, get a zero-turn. And get a fucking wide zero-turn and a fast zero-turn. I don't even care what brand you get. You're going to be super surprised then. Drew Slosher. Answer the internet question number 3. I didn't know this was Drew doing this. If you could have a guaranteed $1 million or a 50-50 chance at $100 million, which would you pick? I'd go 50-50 because I already know what it's like to not have $100 million.
Oh, that's not even a really guaranteed $1 million. $1 million
or a 50-50 chance at $100 million.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the $1 million, and I'm going to properly invest that $1 million,
That's
and then in 10 years I'll have $100 million.
That's exactly where I'd go.
Once you have, here's the thing, and I don't know how, it may be a tick up, but once you hit the 6-figure mark, so once you,
the interest.
All your stuff, your mutual funds, all that stuff, once you get that 6-figure mark, the interest rate changes. You get better money than the person who's got that fucking savings account and has only got $10,000 in this account. Same thing with the million dollar club. Once you hit that $1 million club, the interest rate changes. So you just that $1 million sitting in a bank somewhere, you're making money. So yeah, I'm gonna take the $1 million.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah.
So we have heard how John met Amanda by hollering at her from a friend's car. I don't think they actually believe that, some of them. But how did Skully meet Gina?
The same exact way.
Adult friend finder.
Adult friend finder. No, actually, she saw me on a porn. On a porn, Camp Pendleton Nights, and contacted me through my agency, and that's how we met.
It was her birthday yesterday, by the way. Did you see that picture she put? It's fucking hot. You might want to rein that in a little bit. A 90-year-old that drives an hour to church as a goddamn lousy atheist, that is someone I've got time for. Good stuff, just as you say, those are the people who will survive. Those are the people to keep an eye on. Clam Walker. Is that really his name? Is that play on the vagina?
I don't know.
Clam Walker. I like it. Green pants. Arnett Whalen. Be careful who you fall asleep around. I know this is common knowledge, but I really didn't learn it up until a few years ago. I never had an issue sleeping around my friends because they were all worried about the repercussions of fucking with me. I am much larger of a man than most that I know, so I'm pretty sure that although I would pull a tree out of the ground and beat their ass with it or something. So on the night I learned my lesson, we were all hanging out, and as the night winded down, I went to sleep on the couch like I did fairly often. Well, my buddy's new girlfriend ended up being the one with the biggest balls out of the lot. It's
always the chick.
She took a Sharpie and drew a bunch of penises on my toenails and then put clear nail polish over the top for longevity. That's not bad. I mean, I guess unless you're walking around barefoot. Worse. I didn't notice this until after running a fire call with a local volunteer fire department that I was with at the time. We were standing out front of the station. I was in sandals because it was my day off and I don't have shoes. When my station captain looked down and asked me, Arnett, why are there penises on your feet? I laughed and told him about falling asleep at a friend's house. The next time I saw my buddy's girlfriend, I congratulated her for having enough balls to play a prank on me. 2. Advice from my dad, Arnett. If you have to kill, kill for effect. You will save more lives if people are afraid of you and don't want to fight. Skully, have you had an experience with a Glock 19X? I've heard a lot of good comments from several people about it being the best shooting Glock people have ever owned. I figured getting the opinion of a Glock hater who is fair in his assessment would be a good idea. Love what you guys are doing. Keep up the good podcast.
I'm totally not fair in my assessment of Glocks. The mere fact that I hate them. I have not shot the 19X yet. The two guns I have are I got a 17 and a 19 that Zev did for me. Really nice shooting guns. Little hairy on the trigger. Those guns want to shoot by themselves. I love both of those guns. But I haven't tried the 19 yet. I've got all the 45s, the 21, the 43, and the other one, the 41. I have not tried the 19 yet, but I'm not a Glock fan. I know the whole history of the design of that weapon system and how they became dominant on the market. You can say whatever you want about how well they shoot, but you're also in Gen 19, Section 15 of that weapon system. So I don't know. I have not shot that Glock 19. But a rule of thumb is for sleeping. The rule of thumb is you never want to be the first one to go to sleep, but you also never want to be the last one to go to sleep. Because if you're the last one to go to sleep and all your buddies start snoring, you are not going to go to sleep.
Truth be told.
Truth be told.
Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Can we apply this to everything in life? Or is being slow just being slow?
Just depends on what you mean. Because when they're saying that, they're just trying to get you to concentrate more on what you're doing and less on the speed of it. Because if you do that, if you do practice that, you're going to get faster. It's just going to happen. You're going to get faster in the repetitive of that motion, and you're going to be more methodical about it. What happens is people are too concerned about this, getting it out there fast, and they're not concerned about how they're doing that. So practice. Eventually you're going to be fast, and being slow is being slow.
Especially if it's other shit. Like, you hear that, with gun stuff. But, I mean, if you're going to win a mountain bike race,
you don't want to be the slow guy.
You don't want to be the slow guy. You want to fucking make money. You don't want to be the slow guy. I don't know. There's two ways to win a race. Fucking, who are you watching? Like, which dude you want to be, and how are they doing it? Really. Lawnmower. Vehicles will go a lot of miles if maintained properly. My Super Duty has just under 300,000 and still running strong. And I've driven the fuck out of it for 265,000 of those miles. Just regular maintenance and proper repairs when something does wear out. We talked about storing fuel for shit hit the fan, but what about keeping oil and filters on hand for servicing equipment in cars you have all the fuel stored for? It never even crossed my mind till just now. Well, if we're gonna go to the point, you're talking shit hit the fan, you're gonna store filters. What are you gonna do about tires? Because I have tires on the truck right now. I don't know, they're maybe 5 years old. I'll bet you they don't have 10,000 miles on them, and they're dry rotted. Like, I have tires on 4 trucks here, as a matter of fact, that probably don't have over 20,000 miles on them, and they're dry rotted. What are you gonna do about that? Like,
I wonder if it's just the weather.
I don't think it's just here, man. It was doing it in California. I
I
think it's
like
planned obsolescence. I think
I've had to buy more tires since I've been here than I've ever in my life.
I think it's the change in I think it's on fucking purpose, because we got dudes. Somebody mentioned it too. They're like, when you go buy tires from the warehouse, they have a date of manufacture. You have to look the code up. It doesn't just say rolled off the line on this date. You have to decipher it, almost like an expiration date on some cans. But they fucking look at that shit, and they try to push you the fucking old ones first.
Because we were pulling.
Yeah, I know.
M151 tires off of M151s that had not fucking moved in 40 years. Putting them on and they were fucking.
Dude, I've got
running strong.
I've got 10, 12, 37, 1250s out there, right? Humvee wheels. Those aren't dry rotted. It's how they're fucking building that shit.
Yeah, they probably are just fucking.
Not to say you shouldn't do that, man. Pierre's doing some of our maintenance program shit, and he's like, hey, I want to have filters and everything on hand for all this shit, wiper blades. I'm like, you just order whatever the fuck you want to order. We're going to use it. It's not going to go down in price as long as it's not a timed out consumable. Fucking, I'm all about it. Like, oil isn't going to go bad. So, yeah, fucking do that, man. I don't know if you've been to Costco or Home Depot, but when you go over in the automotive section, at least here in Tennessee, they sell fucking motor oil in 55-gallon drums.
Yeah.
You go to Walmart, I believe they have 55-gallon drums at Walmart of a lot of different fluids and the co-ops and stuff. So, I mean, you can get that shit just like your Rotel. Is it Rotel? That's what we use for our oil.
I think so.
You can get 55-gallon drums, save a little bit of money on it. I mean, it's not like it's going to go down in price. It's like buying, guns. Guys buy guns. Somebody asked on a couple podcasts ago, you've never seen them go down in price. Gravel holds seeds in place really well, and pine trees especially like the good drainage when they are young. You guys ever thought about putting a bee box or two on the property? Not necessarily for the honey, but to help the ecosystem. Yes, we've talked about it. I actually own some beehives. We've never unboxed them. We got the store-bought stuff. There's dudes here that make them. There's a dude that splits colonies, so you can get your fucking bees from him. He delivers them. There's dudes that'll come out and just put bees on your property and manage them and work the bees to come and pollinate your shit, and then they benefit by moving the boxes and getting the honey and shit out of them. Yeah, totally good idea, man. We're just starting to do a lot more intensive property development stuff. We got some earthwork stuff we're gonna do. It won't look cool or anything. It's little swells. It's very subtle, but it's all about water retention, keeping water on the property, slowing water as it moves off the property so it has time to soak in, planting stuff that'll deep root and break shit up. A lot of wood chips. We're putting a fucking ton of wood chips. Mycorrhizal fungi is what we're after. Is the mat of fungus underneath the wood chips. And man, everywhere we've put wood chips, we had rock. Like, we put wood chips on top of fucking gravel, and we have fucking shit growing down and through there and to the gravel now, man. Like, everything you see on the property that's growing, if you watch any of the live feeds or the videos, this whole place was rock. Like 3 years ago, fucking nothing grew here. So, I mean, it's all doable. Keep them going, guys. Thanks for all the great work. Skully, what? That's why I'm fucking tired. It's just that little bit of fucking sun while I was out there, I guess.
Mower?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I mowed all of it. Gravel hold seeds and play. We did that one. Keep up the good work. You guys, great. Skully, what brand of the ID do you run or prefer? What brand of the ID? Which optics do you deem to be worthy of battle? I don't know what he's asking.
I don't know what you're asking there. I mean, I use a whole bunch of different optics. I got some fucking cheap ones. I got some really expensive ones. It just depends on what you're fucking doing. When you say optics, I mean that opens up a whole can of worms of what are we even talking about. Like I have literally everybody. I have US Optics. I have a Unerdal. I have fucking Schmidt and Bender. I have what's everybody fucking clamoring over now?
Tasco. It's not Tasco.
But I might have a Tasco. I might have, because here's the thing that, well, it's changed a lot over the years. It may be a little bit different now. I'd have to do a little more research. But it used to be, while everybody made all these fucking fancy scopes and shit, that all the glass was made in the exact same place, and it was actually made and manufactured by Tasco.
Simmons and Loophole.
Looks different. Simmons. Yeah. But all the good glass was made in Japan at Tasco. So, it just depends on what you're doing. The best thing to do is get something and fucking go beat the shit out of it. I have an Elcan, the Elcan 3.5 to 6 that I use a lot. That's on the patrol rifle. That fucking thing it's sweet, but man, it turns your 5-pound rifle into a 10-pound rifle really quick. Just depends on what you're doing.
Another great video. I would like my 2 sons and daughter to watch these videos, but they're showing no interest. How old are they, man? Lately, I've been posting a share link to my Facebook. These videos are definitely worth sharing. I hope to gain some viewers and customers from my sharing. Thank you for doing that, man. Share, like, comment. The same trip to the Persian Gulf, we had a tanker call to say a Dow was harassing them. So when we arrived, the Doe was throwing some bales over the side. Captain told one of my guys to get an M79 and a smoke flare. When he showed up, I'm glad he had not loaded the round because it was an HE round. So I sent him back to the bridge for a smoke round. Good times. That would have been funny as fuck.
Yeah, it'd have been way cooler.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Way cooler.
Ages 23 to 38 in 2019, born 81 to 86 is considered millennials.
23 to 38.
In 2019. So if you're 23 to 38. Great podcast. Keep it up. Vigilance Elite made a post asking who their viewers wanted to see in a podcast. I told them John and Skully from SOE. I need everyone to go over to the video on YouTube and tell them the same. Right on, Judd. I saw the same thing, told Sean the same thing. Laugh out loud, fingers crossed, Josh said. Liberty Chick says, done. John G. My neighbors are paramedics. I saw them grilling and walked over just to say hello. I asked them what an average day is like, and they both said, all it is anymore is 600-pound people. Mentally insane and heroin and fentanyl overdose. Trailer parks to mansions, all the same. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania. So he said, my neighbors are paramedics. I thought he meant PJs. Oh. He means like flight surgeons or whatever. John yeah. G. We get some swollen feet and people with panic attacks as well.
Swole feet. I had a swole finger. I had a kid in Iraq. Sousa. We called him Sousa Swolefinger. Halfway through the deployment, his fucking fingers just swelled up, like, really bad. Like, to the point where they were almost about to split. And they could not figure out what the fuck was wrong with him. So we ended up having to send him home, but shit gets weird sometimes.
It sounds not fun. I can only imagine wanting to help people just to have to deal with drugs, obesity, and mental disorders on the daily.
Yeah, it's the way it is for any of those services anymore. Law enforcement, EMTs, firefighters, it's always
She probably bought a new straight talk phone. I lost and lose friends, co-workers, whatever during tax time. Get $8,000 to $10,000 for 4 kids. Get high as fuck. Soon after, we are not friends. Happened 3 or 4 times. Oh, and by the way, here's somebody else. This is Liberty Street. Oh, and by the way, I haven't watched all the videos in order. I've skipped around, so I may watch a 2015 at one point, and then maybe one from 2018. The ones that jump out to me first as I watch each one is usually what I do. We'll be placing another order for Memorial Day weekend and use the code. I missed the damn Mother's Day sale because I had just ordered my purple day pack, which I love. And of course, get many comments. I like the backpack purses, so it it's my EDC purse bag. Laughed my ass off. My identical twin sister is even thinking about purchasing one for each of her kids until they're out of school backpacks, because they will last forever. We gave my father-in-law the keychain we bought while we were there as a gift, and he loves it. And my mother-in-law, the blue Easter mystery item. She wasn't getting my purple one, even though that's her favorite color too. Shit, I'm an asshole, aren't I? That she's using as a toiletry type bag for her nail and hair stuff. She loves it. Anyway, spreading the SOE word to the fam and everyone I come in contact with either questions me about one of our bags we're carrying or something like that, or I'm bringing it up in conversation. Freedom is constantly showing off our belts. Sometimes I wish he would stop pulling up my shirt in front of strangers when I'm not expecting it. We'll be walking in somewhere, see someone, stripe up a conversation with someone, and dude may tug at his pants and belt, and bam, all of a sudden I'm feeling all exposed and he's showing off my belt. I'm like, damn, show him yours. Laugh out loud, because we both wear ours every single day. Okay, I'll end there. This is my second comment for this one, so hope it helps, even though I just rambled. Have a great weekend, all. Happy Memorial Day.
Hope you had a good Memorial Day, Liberty Chick.
Bet X Plane is like the family employee discount plan at Ford. Send me one of those armadillos y'all have in Camden. I'm going to spray paint his shell red and take him to Walmart as an emotional support dillo. That'd be funny.
So you want a live armadillo?
Leprosy.
That's it. It's one of those things. It's one of those things that it's like, how true is it? You know, they say that armadillos spread leprosy.
They don't actually say that. They say it's the only animal that can spread leprosy.
Yeah, it can spread leprosy. So I'm not touching that motherfucker. Even though I had one stuck at my house, and the claws on a fucking armadillo they're badger. I mean, they make badger claws look fucking weak.
I think that's kind of, they like tear up rotted wood and dig holes and shit looking for worms. And
yeah, they're out looking for worms. They go. They'll fuck around in my yard, and at night you can literally walk right up to them and fucking put your hand on them. Like the cats will go up. The cats will go right to them because they're making noise in the leaves. Cats will go up to him, and as soon as the cat see what it is, he'll be like, "Fuck that! I ain't touching that." But I've walked right up to him. I could catch one.
That's how you get leprosy. The cat will touch it and then touch you. Didn't you have one in your barn or something?
Fuck, man, I had one in my barn that kept digging a hole in my barn, so I just kept filling it in, and eventually he got the point. He hasn't been back in there.
Should have just concreted it in. Surprise. Notice the Notre Dame church didn't come back for round 2 of the cash grab donation. I was surprised, actually. Maybe the bad social media press slowed down the Vatican. Or they got a new PR firm that slowed it down. Laugh out loud, SOE and crew, for the podcast.
Yeah, the Vatican shouldn't be asking anybody for money to repair one of their fucking buildings.
Well, that's just it. I don't think the Vatican did. It'd been like, we should have done a Kickstarter to fucking rebuild the Vatican. I think that's about what happened. The memory hold that bullshit even at the speed of sound. I think cultivator and tiller is the same thing, just different depths.
No idea. I push the thing. I push the thing until it goes down and it won't go down anymore. Seems to be working.
Turn it on first though, right?
Yeah, turn it on.
Spin it up.
Spin it up.
John and Skully, I think Camden Mafia consigliere Mr. Dana would know if your photo standing on a dead zebra is trouble for you here. He might encourage it for the thrill of court, laugh out loud. It was great seeing Dana and Pierre, the Merc mechanic. Also, Mr. Jacob Herman is as funny and spastic as ever. Glad to see he's back on some podcast footage. Thanks, SOE and crew, for the awesome podcast.
You would think that Dana would want to fucking, get a suit on and rough it up in court and shit and make everybody look bad. But man, there has been at least 20 things that we have presented to him that we wanted to do here, and he always rains on that parade. He's always just shutting it down. Like,
we were gonna
maybe
shoot Tyler.
You shouldn't do that.
We were gonna shoot Tyler with an arrow, and he's like, "You can't do that." I go, "Tyler said he'll sign the waiver." I'm gonna say we probably should. We should probably not do that one. We find it's better to just do it and then tell him afterwards so he can prepare the plan of action. John and Skully, I keep hearing that felons cannot hunt or own firearms in the U.S. That's true. It was mentioned again in a comment read on Podcast 99.7. That is incorrect. Really. And I know for a fact that in Ohio, non-violent, non-drug offense felons whose sentence was potentially less than a year can not only hunt, but can also own firearms. Well, then you also know that that's not what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's not
and
a
you
felony.
also know what a fucking year and a day is. All the rap songs, everything, year and a day. Because in a year, you can stay in local custody. A year and a day goes to prison, at least in most states. That's not necessarily always the case in Tennessee, because we can hold dudes in local jail here up to 2 years, I believe. But that's not my case. If it wasn't for the illegal federal laws, all nonviolent, non-drug offense felons, no matter the potential length of sentence, could own firearms. Yeah, no shit.
If it wasn't for...
And if it wasn't for the federal shit, you wouldn't have to pay taxes. I know, you don't have to pay taxes. You're a sovereign citizen. I don't even know who this is. Also, I'd like a... Drug-free sentence could own firearms. Also, I'd like a request guest. I'd like to see Amanda would come on. She won't. As a matter of fact, she said, "Fuck you," about 10 minutes ago. I said, "People want to see you on the podcast." She said, "Tell that dude, fuck you." That's literally a conversation I had right before we walked in here. I go, "Pierre's got his bail. Come on the podcast." She said, "Fuck you." Did you catch that part? The fuck you part? I want to hear about her cutting boards. She made some cutting boards. They're out in the garage. Anybody can do it. It's very fucking time consuming. There's some beautiful fucking cutting boards out there. Didn't she say she was still doing it? No, she made a couple. I did not say she was still doing it. Is there already a video out there that I've missed or anything she wants to talk about? Anyway, keep them up, guys. They may be some that has dropped off, but your loyal motherfuckers are still there, here listening and commenting. Keep rocking. Right on.
Breakfast videos, maybe you can catch her on. That's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Lunch video every now and then.
You would be surprised the amount of people that say hateful shit about and to Amanda. I'm going to rape you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to rape Sebastian. Like, it is absolutely fucking insane, some of the shit that gets said. So, her not coming on probably has something to do with that. Like, you used to see her. You would be baffled. Like, I don't know, man. I'll bet I have a fucking binder about this thick of emails and shit like that people have sent. Just making threats and saying hateful shit about the kids, about Amanda. So Amanda's just busy, living in the real world, not on the internet. While you're not wrong, what you speak of are considered state misdemeanors with a sentence of 2 years or less, unless it's defined as a state misdemeanor with a potential sentence of 2 years or less. Anything over a year, even a day, is a felony and is prohibiting. The Federal Code 922 and the definitions just laid out are on 4473 if you would like to read up on it. Good day, miss. Who said that?
I don't know.
Who was that they just addressed?
It was Liberty Chick.
Okay, well,
Wait a minute.
yeah, that was.
Uh-huh, yeah. It
Okay.
is Liberty Chick.
Take all that harshness and just... She still said fuck off. She didn't know it was you, though. Robert Lovendy. If you have bread, milk, and eggs, See, that's the thing too about the gun stuff. Okay, right? So state-wise, you're good to go. We actually had this conversation face to face. There's 7 pieces of state law in Texas. Texas says that a man, even while on parole or probation, has the right to defend his family and castle. There are 7, there's actually a lot more. Dudes on parole and probation were allowed to own firearm. You can have a gun in your house. You can't travel with it. The gun can't leave the house, but you can have it to protect your house and your castle. Many times, bad guy comes to the house, intent of malice, causes harm, whatever it is. Homeowner kills bad guy. State says good to go. There are 7 instances when the feds came in 18 to 24 months later. So state says good to go. Dude forgets all about it. Maybe he's got some PTSD, whatever. Chances are it's out of his head. He is not concerned about going to prison or any repercussions legally for killing this guy in his home. There's 7 fucking pieces of case law where the feds came in after an 18-month period. Hey, you're under arrest. You were a felon in federal law. Supersede state when they want you. And I say a lot of shit that makes a lot of people mad. So you guys fucking, I don't care who you are. Run your program however you're going to run it. I make a lot of people fucking, there's stuff I want that I just can't fucking have. There's things, it's just not worth doing. So you do whatever you're going to do. I won't even tell you I told you so. Because if you even have the possibility of that being your case, stop fucking talking about it. If you have bread, milk, and eggs, there is the one thing you should make. French toast. Put some sugar and cinnamon on top. Brilliant. Ferrari and Lambo, they were so good, they had to be taken over by Fiat and Lambo by Audi VW. But same goes for Bentley. Now, come on. They weren't taken over. You know as well as I do. They were purchased because the owner wanted to sell them. Do you know Swatch? Remember those stupid plastic watches? You know they own Rolex? Do you know they own Breitling? Do you know they own almost all of those fucking high-end ass expensive watch companies? All those fucking watch companies, you know they're almost all owned by Swatch? Did you know that?
That's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that, like, especially when you think about, like, Rolex, right?
Right.
Top of the market.
Yep.
Everybody wants a fucking Submariner, man.
Perceived, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a Submariner.
Yeah,
Everybody wanted a fucking Rolex. Swatch sells a bunch of plastic watches. Everybody buys them, and then they buy fucking Rolex. That's
Swatch
crazy.
Also sells some $1 million watches
Yeah.
that people are not aware of. Not labeled Rolex, labeled Swatch. I was standing in a Swatch store. I don't remember who told me that. I'm like, you are fucking full of shit. And because we were in the back, right? You got all the plastic ones, but when you go to the back, there's some $20,000, $30,000, $100,000 Swatch watches on them. What the fuck? I must have been Souders because we were in Vegas, or maybe it was Colin.
Colin,
like,
yeah,
I'm like, you are so full of shit. Okay, you're not full of shit. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. But same goes for Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Volvo, Land Rover. Also, Tesla, unfortunately, seems to be in a lot of trouble. Glad to hear you got your tractor, Skully. Now, please make a video of you using it so we can see the magical tractor in action. So, Skully is so tractored out that there's a tractor here today, and my instructions were, Cody, run the tractor for 1 hour and then switch with Jeff. I didn't do that to make Cody came in. I did that so you didn't have to be out there. And the tractor has awesome air conditioning. Jeff didn't even get in it.
Your specific instructions sometimes are too vague for the current employees. Cody literally pulled the tractor up, stopped, lifted up the thing. He said something to Pierre, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm only supposed to be out here for an hour. I go, what? He goes, Dad said I'm only supposed to be out here for an hour, and then I'm supposed to go back inside and cut. And I'm like, okay. And so he gets,
I might have said something.
And then he gets out of the tractor and he starts walking away, right? And he goes, he looks at me, and I'm like, so I'm like gonna go get in the tractor. And Pierre had this look on his face.
I was not gonna let Pierre run the tractor through the fucking tight woods.
Like
this, I told Cody, I go, you're gonna show Pierre how to drive the tractor. down there, not up on top of the hill.
He had this look on his face, like such a sad, like those floppy ear dogs that the ear thing comes in. That's exactly what Pierre looked like. And I'm like, Pierre, you want to drive the tractor? And he's like,
his tail started wagging.
His tail started wagging.
He has been talking about the tractor for like 3 days. I brought the tractor. Like, now's not the time to be doing the tractor shit. We're going to Blade Show. I brought the tractor so that Pierre could drive the fucking tractor.
Yeah, I gave him a little 5-minute class, and he's fine with it.
Yeah, totally.
So
I'm mowing around, right? The tractor's coming out of the woods. I'm doing wheelies on the mower. I'm fucking... And then I'm like, holy shit, I almost just died. That's Pierre in the tractor. Because I thought it was Cody, right? Like, I'm like up close and shit, because I know Cody sees me. It wasn't fucking Cody. If you have bread milk, we did that one. Glad to hear you got the tractor, Skully. Magical tractor in action. So was at the shooting range today, and with the podcast in mind, I yelled, "Fire in the hole!" before I started shooting. But I bet they lost their shit.
Oh, but that's awesome.
Guys come up to me and ask, so do you follow SOE podcast, or are you related to the dumbass they mentioned in the podcast? Just kidding, but it would have been funny. That would have been funny. So D-Class is coming now, and it does not look good for Comey, Brennan, Lynch, Clapper, and company. Skully, do you still think they won't be charged and hopefully convicted?
There's nothing going to happen to them. Here's the thing that you need to understand.
They're all at the same fucking nightclub right now.
Yeah, here's the thing you need to understand. The clock has ticked away, okay? So it does for right now, like Nancy Pelosi. It does the Democrats no good to try and impeach President Trump right now, because the election is already starting to happen. People are already getting ready for the 2020 election. Same thing with this shit. The election cycle is not going to do anything against these people. We are just going to go into the fucking election and watch Joe Biden cry and grope girls and do the thing he does. They're not going after these guys.
I thought somebody's mad about him touching kids again.
Yeah, he cannot help himself. Like,
I like the one of Hillary where he grabs her around the waist and shit.
Oh my God, he just cannot help himself. There was just one recent...
That's what I'm talking about.
This week, a girl... He's going on his little campaign trip, and there's this lady. She comes up. They do the far away hug, and he fucking drops his hands down to her waist. And you see, she's like, yeah, Joe, you're not supposed to be doing that shit anymore.
He did that to Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God, he just cannot help himself. If Donald Trump wins the election in 2020, I say if, because who knows what the fuck is going to happen. These people might be in trouble. Might, but. I don't think so.
Because they all fucking...
You're talking about
they're all there when they're all fucking butt-touching little children and shit. They all know what each other did.
Yeah, you're talking about a club that... You're talking about a very special club.
Thanks for the podcast, as always. Can't wait for the video of Skully and his shorts on his tractor. Suggestion in episode 101, reveal what 503 stands for. Hillbilly. Hey, Skully. In all your travels, were you ever stationed at the most dangerous place in the world, the U.S. aircraft carrier? You're on a helo carrier.
Yeah, I was on all of the fucking Death Stars, as we like to call them, but never on an aircraft carrier. That's a special detail. The Marines that are on there are...
Is it true there's gangs down there?
No, it's not true.
I thought all the sub decks. I heard there's motherfuckers
it's not true.
Every deployment somebody gets fucking disappeared.
Well, it's probably not true that every deployment, but yeah, eventually there's always a couple of 45-pound plates missing and somebody is gone. But it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
Hey, Skully, a high-pressure round for a Mark 19 can be fired from a 203 once, but it blows the barrel apart and will burst your hands, collarbone, and other body parts. One of buddies did it at good old Fort Bragg. He looked like he got his ass beat with an axe handle.
I don't even want to know how that happened.
And he picked up the loose round after it was cleared from a Mark 19 and decided to see if it fits in his 203. Are you going to skip episode 100, go from 99-9 to 101? Can you do a show and tell of some of your first gear you may have set back? kind of like a show and tell blast from the past. Saw a quote today, reminded me of the Willis mentality. You will never be criticized by someone doing more than you. You will only be criticized by someone doing less. Yeah, isn't that fucking true, man? And it's very rare that you'll be criticized by somebody using a real name. It'll be like Avocado Man, whatever. You know, it's always
Man
some
100.
fucking fake name. When they fucking, it's always a shit talker with a fucking fake name, a fake email address, because those people live in fear. Like, they know the repercussions of doing such things. Like, it's just fucking crazy the time that is invested in that.
We're very fearful of change, and people like the status quo. So when somebody is trying to reach a different level of the status quo or make a drastic change, those people in that area are going to try and keep that person back.
Did we read that one already? Yeah, somehow I have 10 here. We already did that.
Oh.
That is it. I asked the 5th time. Yeah.
That shit is going to set. There's your t-shirt.
All right.
All right, that was it.
Friday.
Friday.
About an hour in.
I got to find a shear bolt.
What are you going to do this weekend?
I have to go find a shear bolt, which I think.
We already had this conversation because it'll blow your PTO.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot more expensive.
It gets a lot more expensive.
Yeah, when they say put a grade 5 bolt in there, do not put a grade 8
I'm just happy. I am just happy that that's what it was.
Fuck yeah.
So I took it apart.
You thought it might be beyond.
Yeah, I thought it might have been beyond that because as always, and the manual's not very clear on this, I'm thinking because it says 300 RPMs on it, that's what you're supposed to be running at 300 RPMs.
I think you're supposed to start it at 300 and then lower it in at 300.
No, you're not even supposed to do that. You're supposed to be at like 100, and then as it digs, you raise the RPMs depending on how well it's digging. So that's why I sheared the bolt off, because I'm like, 325's not going to hurt it.
So how many holes did you dig before that?
I got 6.
How's your expanding foam doing?
Terrible. I'm pulling them out and cutting the foam off. Put cement in. So I gotta go get some. I'm gonna go get cement. Get that bolt. Try and get some in this weekend, and then that's it.
That's what you're getting Gina for her birthday, shear bolt?
Yeah, that's what she's getting.
She'll like it. She should see the smile on her face right now. All right, guys.
All right, we'll see you later. Stay out of trouble. Go to Blade Show. Use the Amazon link.